You're watching a horror movie. The music tightens. The killer steps out, and without warning, your skin explodes with tiny bumps. Up your arms, up your neck, up the back of your skull. You didn't choose that. You didn't control it. Your body just did it on its own. Here's what nobody tells you. That reaction is a 250 million-year-old survival weapon. Your ancient ancestors used it to fight predators, survive freezing winters, and intimidate enemies twice their size. Today, it does almost nothing useful for you. But the story of why you still have it is one of the most fascinating things evolution ever did to a human body. Let's get into it. Part 1. What's actually happening in your body? First, what is literally happening inside you when goosebumps appear? Because it's more interesting than you think. When your brain detects something, cold, fear, a shocking moment, an emotional song, it immediately fires a signal through your sympathetic nervous system. Think of this as your body's emergency broadcast system. It floods your bloodstream with adrenaline. And adrenaline does several things at once. Heart beats faster, pupils dilate, muscles tense up, and tiny little muscles called erector pili attached to every single hair follicle on your body. They yank each hair follicle upright. Your skin bunches slightly around each one, and you get goosebumps. Now the name comes from the fact that plucked goose skin looks identical to human skin during this reaction, which, honestly, means someone was staring very closely at a plucked goose and their own arm at the same time. But every culture noticed this differently. Germans call it goose skin. French call it chicken skin. Japanese call it bird skin. Everyone looked at their arms and thought of a completely different bird. But here's the real question. Why does this reflex exist at all? Part 2. The ancient survival weapon. To understand goosebumps, you need to travel back 250 million years, before humans, before apes, before most mammals as we know them, to our tiny, furry, ancient ancestors, scrambling to survive in a world designed to kill them. Now imagine you're one of these creatures. A predator locks eyes on you. Your brain fires the emergency signal, adrenaline surges, and every single hair on your body stands straight up simultaneously. Now, because you're covered in thick fur, this makes you look dramatically, suddenly, terrifyingly bigger. Picture a cat cornered by a dog, fur puffed, back arched, tail like a bottle brush. That's the exact same reflex. And for ancient furry mammals, this was genuinely life or death. A small creature that doubles in apparent size in 1 second? A predator hesitates. A rival backs down. You survive, but there was a second advantage in freezing temperatures, puffed up fur traps, warm air close to the skin. Like a natural puffer jacket that activates automatically. So goosebumps were doing two incredible things simultaneously, making you look dangerous, keeping you from freezing. It was a brilliant adaptation, one of evolution's best designs. And then, everything changed. Part 3. Evolution's biggest oversight. Over millions of years, our ancestors gradually lost almost all their body hair. Scientists still debate exactly why. Some think it helped ancient humans run long distances without overheating. Others think it reduced parasites like lice and ticks. Whatever the reason. By the time modern humans arrived, we had become essentially naked apes. And here's where evolution made its classic mistake. Evolution doesn't tear down old systems when they become unnecessary. It just builds on top of them. Like a construction crew that keeps adding floors to a building, without ever checking if the basement is still relevant. So when we lost our fur, the erector pili muscles, still there. The adrenaline reflex, still perfectly intact. The whole goosebump machinery, running flawlessly. It's just that now, when it fires, instead of a magnificent fur-puffing survival display, you get tiny sad bumps on mostly hairless skin that intimidate nobody, that warm you by absolutely 0 degrees, that make you look exactly like a plucked chicken. Scientists call this a vestigial trait, a biological leftover your body kept even after its original job became obsolete. Like your wisdom teeth built for ancient jaws eating raw, tough food. Or your tailbone, the leftover ghost of a tail. Your body is essentially a museum of ancient biology, and goosebumps are one of the main exhibits. Part 4. Why music gives you chills. The weird science. Now here's where it gets genuinely strange. Cold and fear triggering goosebumps makes sense. Both activate adrenaline. But what about a piece of music that hits so perfectly it breaks something open in your chest? A speech so powerful your skin rises before your brain even processes the words. Why does beauty cause the exact same reaction as a predator? Scientists have a name for this specific phenomenon: frisson, from the French word for shiver. And here's the shocking part. Only 50% of people experience frisson. Half of all humans feel nothing from emotional triggers. The other half get full body chills from the right song. And brain scans show these two groups have measurably different brain wiring. People who experience frisson have stronger connections between their auditory cortex and emotional processing regions. They literally feel music more deeply at a neurological level. They also tend to score higher in openness to experience more imaginative, more curious, more emotionally sensitive. So if a song has ever given you genuine chills, you may have a structurally different brain than the person sitting next to you. But why does beauty hijack a survival reflex? The best theory: when something is so emotionally overwhelming that your brain can't categorize it, so beautiful, so true, so massive, your nervous system treats it like a major survival event. It fires the emergency broadcast, and that ancient reflex activates. You're not scared, you're not cold. You are simply experiencing something too large for your nervous system to process quietly. Part 5. The discovery that changed everything. For decades, scientists assumed goosebumps were completely useless in modern humans, a dead relic, leftover machinery doing nothing. Then, in 2020, Harvard researchers made a discovery that nobody expected. They found that erector pili muscles are directly connected to stem cells inside hair follicles, and every time these muscles contract, every time you get goosebumps, they don't just raise your hair, they stimulate those stem cells, which are responsible for hair growth and hair regeneration. Your goosebump reflex is secretly running a maintenance and repair program on every hair follicle in your body. Every single time it fires. The scientists who spent decades dismissing this reflex as vestigial were completely wrong. And this raises a much bigger question. How many other things in your body that science labeled useless are secretly doing something extraordinary we haven't discovered yet? Your appendix, now known to store and protect beneficial gut bacteria. Your tonsils, active participants in your immune system. Your junk DNA turns out to regulate gene expression. Evolution doesn't keep useless things. It just keeps things we haven't understood yet.